Over the past 2 years, Mnet Supersport has provided super action in the ring, which has often been controversial and unpredictable. Why? Well, in boxing, nothing is certain. What looks good on paper does not always materialize in the ring. There are many factors for this. It could be a question of a clash of styles. The favorite can have a night off. Sometimes it's a matter of nerves and a fighter will freeze on the big occasion. All the preparations in the world and whatever has happened before comes to nothing with a lapse in concentration. One punch can cancel out everything. With me in the studio to chat about triumphs and disappointments is Boxing World's Ron Jackson, well-known boxing writer and historian. Ron, welcome to the show.
Nice to be with you again, Robin.
Well, our own Johnny Plooy has been through the triumphs and disappointments a few times in his career, Ron. Ron, what are your feelings about Johnny's performance when he quit against Ronaldo Slipes in Milwaukee about 2 years ago?
Well, that was an absolute disappointment. I mean, Johnny had everything going for him. He was well ahead. He started off well. He was landing with his jab. He had Snipes badly cut in his mouth, and in the 7th round he just fell down and gave up. I mean, that was an absolute disgrace in boxing terms.
Only 3 months later, Johnny Plooy redeemed himself to a certain extent when he went in with James Pritchard at Sun City in a return bout after their previous encounter, which ended in a controversial draw.
We were heading the same way in that second bout. It was also going to be a lot of controversy because Johnny looked as though he was behind on points. But luckily for him, he showed heart and he pulled the fight out the fire with a great stoppage in the 10th round. And as you said earlier, people forget about the Milwaukee debacle, and they thought Johnny was the greatest after that 10th round victory.
And the pressure is on. This is the last round. And Plooy knows he's got to really pull one out of the bag here to get the points verdict. Whoever thought we'd see Plooy going for a points verdict in the last round of a fight like this. But it's Pritchard who's doing the scoring, forcing Plooy back and getting him with some good blows to the head.
Pritchard, of course, fearful of a hometown verdict again.
And Pritchard throwing the snappier punches. The irony of this is that we're seeing a much, much fitter Plooy, showing the fans that he can be fit and yet battling to get a victory.
Yeah, he's had a few almost knockdowns, but not quite there.
No. Pritchard is a hard man to get down. And when he throws punches like that, he's a hard man to beat. It's Pritchard coming forward most of the time now. He rides those blows from Plooy very, very well. Plooy throwing in his best, but Pritchard's able to take them with this movement to the head and bring to the side. He catches Plooy himself with a sharp left hook to the head, falls in the process and comes down on his knees. And there is that left jab we've been waiting for.
Snapping back to Plooy's head.
A good punch from Plooy. And a right hand there from Plooy had Pritchard shaking. Oh, and another right hand and a second. And Plooy at this stage has got Pritchard in a good deal of trouble. Is he going to see out the round? No. Pritchard is in trouble. He's holding on to the rope. Plooy putting in everything he can. And Pritchard is soaking up the punishment. But right-handed it, and referee Christopher Lewis stopped it.
2 minutes and 20 seconds into round 10.
Well,
the winner, Johnny Plooy!
He had exactly a half a minute to go.
Well, in May 1989, Plooy was matched with Francesco Damiani. Ron, what was the background to this fight?
Well, you know, Plooy at that stage had his previous wins. People had forgotten about his poor showings. And Damiani, you know, couldn't get a crack at Mike Tyson. I mean, Mike Tyson was the real champion. So this new body, the WBO, the World Boxing...
Which you call a synthetic organization.
That's right, World Boxing Organization. I mean, how can you have another world heavyweight champion when you've got Mike Tyson around, who was the champion at that stage? They decided that they'd have their own champion, and they matched Plooy against Damiani for the WBO title.
Well, Plooy was in really superb condition for that fight. I was there. He looked very good, but as you say later on, he fell into the trap.
Well, you know, he was the best condition he's ever been in his life. But what happened, Damiani and his management been very shrewd. They'd taken forward to Plooy, and they'd watched and they'd seen that Plooy was open to a death trip. And their whole plan, they moved away from Plooy and let him fall into the trap. And as you saw in the first 2 rounds, Plooy fared quite well. But in the 3rd round, he fell into the trap and was taken out 1-2, and that was the end of it.
real problem, I think, there.
Yeah, he'll cope with that, though. Good experience, as I've said.
A little flurry, but not much on.
Yeah, the thing is he's absorbed those punches well, Plooy. That thick neck of his really takes them almost cushioned, isn't it? 19 inches, nearly as big as Tyson's.
And Plooy able to spin away from the corner, although in this round, Damiani is pushing him back.
Now the crowd has started to go for, get Damiani at it a little bit there. Oh, he's done him with a left hook. The right hand started it, Robin, then the left hook came over, and he's not going to make that in the third round, right under the bottom rope. The left hook did it, and Perez has counted the full 10. They're going berserk here. And as usual, the ring has been invaded, and almost, well, it was, out of the blue like a thunderbolt, and Plooy never saw that coming, and neither did half the crowd, I suspect.
Nope. It was very shaken up, Plooy.
He started to throw punches back to Plooy there for a while. Then he came off second best. Now here it is again. Robin, to see the left hook did it there. And again there. That was the punch that did it.
Well, George Foreman, since making a comeback to the ring at the age of 42, is considered as a possible opponent for the heavyweight title again. Well, how do you consider him as a real threat or as a non-entity?
Well, as you know, Robin, he's fought nobody. He's had plus or minus 20-odd fights since he's come back. He's won them all, and he's only had about a couple where he's gone the distance. All the others he's knocked over in 1 or 2 rounds.
One of the greatest comebacks in recent boxing history was the rearguard action by Australian Jeff Harding and his challenge for the WBC light heavyweight title against Andries.
That was one of the greatest fights we've seen on Mnet in recent years, Robin. You know, Andries is an old man in boxing terms. He's 35, 36.
38 maybe.
Maybe. Well, you know, we never know with these chaps. And he fought this young Jeff Harding from Australia. And he was giving Harding a boxing lesson. I mean, it was all over by the county. I mean, he obtained his title. Everybody thought, well, this is it.
As usual, they meet in the middle here at the beginning of the 7th round. And Alex, between rounds, you made a good observation about the way Dennis Andries closed the 6th.
Well, I thought he stole the 6th with some hard shots.
Look at him come out here in the 7th. Dennis Andries pummeling Jeff Harding. And Harding a little lax in blocking some of those blows. Again, another right hand gets between the gloves. Uppercuts are scoring.
And this has to shock Jeff Harding because, I mean, I think he just thought he was getting on top. And the Dennis Andries is winding down, and here he comes out like a ball of fire to start the second half of the fight.
Boy, but this is a strategy that could backfire on Andries if he doesn't take Harding out. You wonder what this is going to do to his stamina, not only for the balance of this round, but for the balance of the fight. And you can already see the blows from Dennis Andries slowing and becoming more and more like arm punches.
He's punched himself out a little bit here on the stand of the arm. Oh, that left again, the left hurts Harding.
And you
and
can
again,
see,
it didn't look like that with the left hand, Dan.
It didn't, but clearly you can see Harding's legs went stiff. Jeff Harding appeared to be staggered by that Andries shot. But I don't know how much Andries has left to give here in the 7th. Both fighters at this point looking tired. And you saw Dennis Andries miss with a right and just kind of stagger after it.
Dennis is exhausted, but Jeff just doesn't have anything to put on him right now.
Still a little over a minute left in this round. Oh, and there is a knockdown. A big, wild right hand catches Jeff Harding, who's still on the mat.
His left eye is cut. It's now streaming blood.
Jeff Harding didn't get up! Jeff Harding didn't get up! Acting like he was in control. Waited too long to get up.
Another fight where we saw a great fight back was Glenn McCrory against our own Siza Makhatini.
Well, the same thing, a similar type of thing happened there. We had Siza Makhatini boxing well within himself, giving McCrory a sort of a boxing lesson. And yet McCrory, with all the heart, courage in his hometown, all the people shouting for him, he came back tremendously. In that last round, as you saw, you were there, Robin, to stop him in that 11th round was a tremendous performance. We know that McCrory's got weight problems. He's pulling weight. He was a weak man before he went into the ring. Yet he came back, he dug down deep and stopped Siza Makhatini. Maybe Siza could have got up. You were there, I don't know. But to me, it looked like he could have got up. But
the champion caught Siza Makhatini with a tremendous right there. He's holding on now.
McCrory come right back into it, yeah. McCrory is actually
another good left hook there from McCrory.
pouring in the punches, and
McCrory seems to have Makhatini trapped in his favourite corner.
and down goes Siza. A right hand over the top.
This is unbelievable because this fight was very one-sided.
Makhatini seems to have given it up. He's out. Makhatini's out. Makhatini's down.
Well, South African Brian Mtchell continued along the winning way with 2 defences of his WBA junior lightweight title in 1989 against opponents who were not highly rated, namely Salvatore Bottiglieri and Irwing Mtchell.
well, you know, Robin Bottiglieri, a lot of people underestimated Bottiglieri. Going into the fight, they thought Brian would knock him over in a few rounds. But as it proved in the fight, he put up a stern resistance. Right from the first round, he took the fight to Brian Mtchell, and he wasn't scared of the champion. And he was holding his own right through to the 7th round. But then Brian, the great little fighter he is, came back in the 8th round and completely took him out.
Possibly do at this stage.
Well, you know the old story. It's an easy fight for Mtchell, so they say. There's never an easy fight, and this is one young man who's making sure that it isn't. It's a very, very hard fight. Mtchell actually having to battle all the way through to retain his title here, but nonetheless doing it in a very composed sort of manner.
Just peeking over the top of this high ring, I can see Carlos Giacomo doesn't look too agitated. He thinks things are firmly in control.
Very calmly in the corner, and another
right
nice
by
right.
Mtchell.
Every now and again, Mtchell throws that right hand to the head, which upsets the challenger. And right now, I think Mtchell has got his man as he wants him.
I think he's down and out.
Oh, he'll get up. He'll get up, but will he keep going? Because Mitchell's got him where he wants him right now. Another right hander there. Those right hands are doing marvelous. No, I don't think Bottiglieri can go much longer.
I think he's run right out of gas.
Well, he's going to run out of ability to stave off that right hand to the head.
And the referee should stop this contest, and he has.
Very well done, too.
Well, once again, Mitchell's 7th world title defense and a win. Just about 2 minutes into the 8th round here. Italian crowd not too happy at all. Bottiglieri just folded.
And the Irwing Mtchell fight in Lewiston, Maine?
Well, yeah, I've never rated Irwing Mtchell very highly. I don't think he deserved a title fight. But be that as it may, he put up a good show against Brian. You know, he was an awkward opponent, being a southpaw, lanky, so much longer. Didn't make for a good fight. And Brian battled against Irwing Mtchell because of the clash of styles. But he should have taken him out in that 3rd round. I mean, he had him going, he dropped him, and I thought it was all over. But he let him off the hook. Came back again, and Irwing Mtchell was holding his own, but Brian waited for that 7th round and bided his time. And after, I thought, a poor performance, he came back to finish on a high.
Irwin kind of looking into the crowd, which is a telltale sign he's lost a little interest. But Brian Mtchell looking right in the eyes of Murphy Griffin. The eyes are not being worked on by Tom Nelson, taking all of it in, and that's what Murph said. He's always willing to learn new things.
Irwing Mtchell looking decidedly rocky the last 30 seconds or so.
Pick him up, Brad. Come on.
Concern from Bo Williford in the corner here. Pick him up, come on, get some pace up.
Irwin's a little concerned now. He has some bleeding in the mouth right now. He's a little concerned with that. Come on. Brian again working with a cut over the outside of the right eye. And now just a slight cut on the outside of the left eye. And gets caught in the head or at least right on the eye with the head of Irwin Mtchell again. Halfway through this 7th round.
Yeah, Irving Mtchell really bending down low and occasionally catching Mtchell right on the side of the head with his head.
There is a price that must be paid for the straight-ahead fighters a la Brian Mtchell, and that is the headbutts, the clashes. He has weathered the storm so far through the Jackie Beard fight, but tonight he may be weathering even more.
Yeah, he's got a little mask on the other eye now, a little mouse, a little stain coming up there.
Don Nelson worked on that briefly, but he'll have to go back to work on it between rounds.
No, it's both eyes cut now, Sam.
Yes.
Both eyes.
Jab, jab, jab. Come back. Don't step back.
Irwin Mtchell, I've been watching him here, Robin. As the fight is progressing, he's becoming more and more squared up. He still has the white stance, but he's starting ever so slowly to get more and more square, which gives you a little bit of a tired feeling because he's not getting the leverage off the left hand he did early.
Although he's showing less of a target to be hit, and he's holding that right hand round.
Come on. That's it. Keep punching. Keep punching. Keep punching.
Mtchell Bryan's corner saying, come on, keep on punching. Keep on punching.
Irwin Mtchell going down and again still with that blood in the mouth. He looked in his corner and said he's all right. Nick Drake, the referee in the closing seconds of the 7th. It's over.
It's over.
And Irwin Mtchell says, no, I'm through. And this one's over. And Brian Mtchell has retained his title.
The Fabrice Benichou and Fransie Badenhorst fight and the John Mugabe versus Rennie Jacko fight were two of the biggest flops in recent years, Ron.
Well, you know, Fransie Badenhorst had a golden opportunity to become a world junior featherweight champion, IBF champion, but he let the chance slip. I mean, Fabrice Benichou was one of the weakest champions we've ever had in that division, and he didn't listen to his corner. He fought the wrong fight right from the first bell. I mean, he took a belting from Benichou. I mean, you saw the fight. Benichou was very crude, swinging wildly, and Fransie Badenhorst fought the same sort of fight. Instead of boxing him, which he can do, and he completely let it slip. He actually blew it.
That Fabrice Benichou is trying to hang on to the title here with. He has put the contender down twice, once in the first and now in the fourth as we go to round number 5.
Well, there again, Sam, Benichou himself was put down twice in the championship that he won.
He was indeed, and of course the other time that he lost the title fight, he got it stopped in the 10th on cuts as he puts that left hook, and Badenhorst goes down for a 3rd time.
And shakes his head badly there.
Yes, indeed, Cappuccino's right down, and he may not get off the canvas this time. Cappuccino's going to count him out, and this one's over in the 5th round. Fabrice Benichou has successfully defended his title with a 5th round knockout.
Well, the Mugabe-Jacko fight was almost a tragicomedy. Mugabe threw one punch and down goes Jacko with a twisted leg.
Well, that was all a big hype. You know, John Mugabe had been fighting. He'd fought for Duane Thomas. He'd lost in his crack for the junior middleweight title. He'd fought Marvin Hagler. And this was a big build-up. Jacko is a very capable opponent. He not classy, but he won a few fights. And the fight, there was nothing in it until the first shot that Mugabe threw, caught him in the back of the head, and there he fell down, twisted his knee. Poor old referee Arthur McCanty didn't know what to do. He didn't want the fight to be stopped. You know, it's big money, television audience, and he did everything to try and get the fight going. He even let him rest a bit, which is against the rules. And he let Jacko come back, but the poor man couldn't walk, and that was that.
Well, Tommy Hearns, Ron, is always an exciting fighter. How do you see a possible fight for him against Michael Nunn?
I'd love to see that fight, but I think Michael Nunn would be too fast and too young for him. You know, Tommy just hasn't got any more.
His legs have gone, you think?
Yes, I think so. I mean, as you saw in that fight against
James Kinchen.
Kinchen, you know, he was boxing well. He had Kinchen going in the 4th round, and he needed a slip. And by the 12th round, I mean, Tommy was on the most wobbly legs you've ever seen. You know, oh, that was tragic. You know, Mark Breland has never really realized his potential. And Lloyd Honeyghan was a great star. I mean, you know, his fight against Donald Curry, brilliant. And I don't know what happened to him. He must have lost his way somewhere along the line, maybe fast living, who knows. But against Mark Breland, all the hype beforehand, you know, he was staring in the man in his eyes. They thought he was going to take him out. But it was a real damn score. I mean, he did nothing.
likely to get it at any moment. Fourth time on the floor of Honeyghan. Start of the third. And Breland now will be looking for the finish. And Honeyghan's got nowhere to go. He doesn't know where he is, and he has no defense whatever against the punches coming at him. This is the worst night of Honeyghan's life. Unless he can come back. The one place he doesn't want to be, trapped in a corner. Again he's down, the fifth time, and his head this time bowed to the floor. He'll get up, but is he fit enough to continue? The Panamanian referee has allowed him to go on. Honeyghan is cut as well now, I think. How much longer can this go on? Breland's got him again. It'll have to be stopped in a moment. Bravely, Honeyghan trying to stay out of trouble, trapped in a corner again. But Breland is there to destroy him. And this is an appalling night for Honeyghan. He's cut over the right eye. He's fighting blindly and desperately now. The crowd are rising to his courage. But these are ghastly moments for the British fighter. His legs seem to have gone from under him. He's down again. The sixth time, and it's waved all over. It's all over in the third round. And in fact, if the referee hadn't stopped it, Mickey Duff was going to, because he'd thrown the towel in at that point. Honeyghan absolutely and abysmally beaten.
Two of the biggest upset sensations and triumphs of recent times, Michael Nunn against Simple Kalambe, and Terry Norris, of course, against John Mugabe.
Well, you know, Michael Nunn, when he fought against Simple Kalambe, I mean, that was absolute sensation. I mean, Kalambe had never been stopped. He'd only lost 3 fights. He'd only recently lost his WBA title. They'd stripped him his title because he took the fight with Michael Nunn, which was a big one for him.
Who will come forward first? Looks like it's Nunn. Both men like to box and move backwards and side to side and play a chess game. Neither man likes to come forward. Kalambe trying to jab to the body. He's a counterpuncher, excellent counterpuncher. He's great at slipping punches. He showed you that there. Nunn with terrific hand speed, as does Kalambe. Some expect a chess match. There you see the Nunn uppercut. Sugar Ray Leonard alluded to that in his highlight piece before the fight. That could be a key, and I would agree. The Nunn jab continues to flick out against Kalambe. Kalambe is by nature, oh my, a left hand sends Kalambe down. A shocking turn of events in the first round. Sambu Kalambe is out on the mat. I doubt if this one will continue. It's over. Michael Nunn has shocked the world.
Well, John Mugabe, the knockout king, was an overwhelming favourite, defending his WBC Super Welterweight title for the first time against underdog Terry Norris.
Well, it was the same sort of thing as the Nunn-Kalambe fight. John Mugabe has never been stopped. Well, I say never been stopped. He's never been knocked out completely like he was against Norris. He'd been stopped with a controversial decision against Duane Thomas and Marvin Hagler. But he was on his feet when he was stopped with Marvin Hagler. And Terry Norris is a very ordinary sort of fight. He'd had a crack at the WBA title before and he'd lost. And here he was up against John Mugabe, the beast, great puncher. And nobody gave him a chance. I mean, he was a 5-1 underdog and yet he came out there and stunned the world and took John Mugabe out. But I think you mustn't forget that John Mugabe's always had a bit of a weight problem, so it could be that he drained himself and couldn't take the power of the blow. But be that as may, it was a brilliant victory for Terry Norris.
Wisely not wading right in, testing John Mugabe early. It behooves Norris to dance and box and use his skills as much as he can. Good left from Norris, and Mugabe is staggered. John Mugabe goes down. A left from Terry Norris drops John Mugabe. Mugabe is up and on Queer Street. Oh, this crowd is stunned. John Mugabe dropped his mouthpiece. Here's where Mugabe will need all the experience he has. Can he hang on? Terry Norris closing in on Mugabe, and Mugabe wisely holding on, Alex.
Only been down once before in his career against Marvelous Marvin Hagler, but he's in much worse trouble here.
It was a left from Norris that caught Mugabe flush. And Mugabe does at least appear to be getting his legs back to a degree.
If somebody told you there was going to be a knockdown in round one, Dan.
Oh, and that right from Norris. Lloyd stiffened the legs of Mugabe. And John Mugabe is helpless. Holding on.
Coming up by 1 minute left in the round. There is no 3 knockdown rule, and there is no standing 8 count. It looked like the referee could have given a standing 8 count there, but there is not in the WBC.
It is John Mugabe that has a track record of coming out of the blocks in a hurry. But this round is all Terry Norris. And now for Mugabe, it's just a question, can he survive?
And we should say that Terry Norris should be careful because he can still win punches.
And 2 good left hooks from Mugabe, but Norris comes right back. This is clearly a pro-Mugabe crowd. John lived here in Tampa for a number of years. Oh, right from Terry Norris. And Mugabe will not get up. Terry Norris with the right finishes it here in round 1. Terry Norris, the new WBC Super Welterweight champion.
Daar's so baie boksers in Suid-Afrika en daar's so baie gevegte wat in Suid-Afrika plaasvind. En om een toekenning te kry, die bokser of geveg van die jaar is 'n baie groot eer. Dit is regtig waar ek waardeer dit baie.
Pierre, baie dankie.
Ready there, Leonard. And here Coetzer comes out, meaning business, Leonard.
Yes, Coetzer goes in. I didn't expect him to go in quite so fast, quite so determined, but he's gone straight in with those left jabs of his.
Well, this is the Pierre Coetzer we don't know about, the one who comes out quickly. We had an inkling this might happen, and now we're seeing it.
But he takes a left hand to the head from Plooy. Doesn't seem to worry him too much. He comes straight back in.
In fact, he's got a cut on the left eye already there, Leonard.
And another right hand from Plooy finds that mark, and the cut is open. The first minute of this round, and Pierre Coetzer on the attack, but bleeding from beside the left eye.
They came into the ring with some muti over the eyes. Obviously there was a problem, and he's been nicked in the first minute or so of the first round. Champion Brian Mtchell, what's happening there?
I said to Brian beforehand, what is all that paint around his eye, Brian?
Yes, it seems at this early stage of the fight that Pierre Coetzer is battling with a cut. Johnny Plooy started the fight very well. He's counter-punching well and using some nice snappy right hands there.
Coetzer's got a nasty cut there, Brian.
It looks like a bad cut from here, Robin, but he seems to be getting in with some nice body punches early in the fight.
I think we're seeing more action in this heavyweight fight than we've seen in about 10 heavyweight fights in the past.
It'll be a pity if the cut does have anything to do with the outcome of this bout, because already they're showing that it's going to be a full go.
Oh,
and
great left there from Pierre Coetzer.
There's that left hook from Coetzer, the one that knocked out Bernard Benton. The punch that can really do damage in this bout.
This really is an aggressive Pierre Coetzer. That face is looking terrible in the first round here.
What a
lot of
mess
blood coming down. What a mess. Coetzer realizes he's got to get hold of Plooy there. A good left there from Pierre.
Another left hook from Coetzer finds his mark, and Plooy happy to go back and take another one. Referee Stan Christodoulou gets in, breaks them. You need a good ref like that in a fight of this nature.
This is a really aggressive Coetzer here, Leonard. I've not seen him fight like this for many a long year.
Yes, Robin, Pierre Coetzer is picking up the attack nicely.
Good right there.
Beautiful left hook there. Deploy seems to be holding on now. The only thing that's bothering Deploy Coetzer at this stage of the fight is that bad cut. Otherwise, he's attacking well and he's using some nice body movements here.
Crowd really getting behind both fighters here, Brian. It's lovely to hear it. It's a real super tournament.
Nice straight right there from Johnny Deploy. He's getting in with his own right hands as well. Funny enough, there's a lot of right-hand work here from both fighters, both using snappy right hands. Some nice work there from Deploy.
Coetzer piling it in there, trying to get Deploy on the ropes. He's got all of his blood on Deploy's face now.
He's sharing the blood out here. It's going on to both of them, but that's Coetzer's blood. And that right hand from Deploy is going in over the top all the time. It's catching Coetzer. Coetzer is coming forward, but he's catching those right-handers from Deploy.
But having no effect on Coetzer, we must say that, Leonard. He's just coming forward, giving more.
Except they're landing on that cut, and that's the worst part of it.
Whoa, tremendous first round there in this once-and-for-all tournament, Brian.
Yes, that is one of the best first-round heavyweight fights I've seen in a long time, especially in this country. It's really what the fans want.
Better than most world title fights, let's say it.
That's right, Robin. It's better than most world title fights that we've seen the heavyweights lately in. And there's, we watch the slow motion. Deploy's using some snappy punches here. It's nice to see that Johnny Deploy looks pretty well conditioned in this fight. You can see by his body.
Well, he's taken some good shots, and in previous times he might not still be there if he hadn't been training. Brian, whilst we do that, let's have a look. What do you think of the score on that round? You're going to be our scoring pundit for this fight.
Well, a very even round there, but I'm going to have to pick Pierre Coetzer for that round. He did a bit more work, although Johnny Deploy opened the cut in his eye. Pierre Coetzer was the busier fighter.
Okay, great, Brian. We can see them working on that Pierre Coetzer eye. Obviously, there's also a problem on the other eye, Leonard.
Yes, it's eyes. He's got a welt just underneath the eyebrow, the side of the eye on the right, as well as that cut on the left. And Alan Towell had to put in a lot of work there. Coming out for the second round of 10, and Coetzer goes straight in on the attack again. Looking for and that left hand goes in. That left hook catches Deploy, and another left hook gets in. That is the punch that Coetzer is going to throw in, I think. Oh, and a right hand from Deploy drops Coetzer.
Coetzer gets up straight away. Real hard there, he rolled down, caught up, came straight up, and fit to carry on. Straight into Johnny Deploy.
That right hand from Deploy with a good punch. It traveled short, but to the point, and down went Coetzer.
Coetzer apparently not hurt by it. He was shaking his head, got up, Leonard. No problem.
Oh, and another one from Deploy. Two of them get in. And Deploy putting on the pressure here has Coetzer momentarily in trouble.
Super fight so far. Both guys giving every quarter, really going for it.
A little bit wild is Coetzer in this. Deploy seems to be a little bit more the confident of the pair, don't you think, Brian?
Yes, Len, definitely, and it seems that Deploy, being a little bit conditioned, he's using snappy punches, and his hand speed is counting here. That's why he dropped Pierre Coetzer. Pierre Coetzer seems to have recovered well, but he's very sluggish here in the second round. That's all Johnny Deploy in the second round.
Coetzer throwing out a nice right there, tagging Johnny Deploy on the end of the chin. Good body punch there.
Nice body punch there from Johnny Deploy. He seems to be throwing the harder punches in this fight. Most people expect the Pierre Coetzer to be doing the hard punching, but it looks like Deploy is actually doing the hard counter punching.
Nice bit of bottom weave there from Pierre Coetzer. Coming back, throws the left. Johnny Deploy straight back on him, pushing that left out. Pierre Coetzer coming in now.
Coetzer coming in. I'm surprised that Coetzer has gone into the action like this so soon.
But Deploy is counter punching so beautifully there, Leonard.
Deploy caught him with a lovely left over the top of Coetzer's guard. This is a much, much better Johnny Deploy than we expected, and a nice right hand from Deploy.
Uppercut going through. Great punch. Coming back again on Pierre Coetzer. Flush on him.
And yet Coetzer not giving up, lands left hooks of his own. Pushes Deploy back. What a tremendous battle this is turning into.
Another punch there from
right
Johnny.
A fantastic battle. Pierre Coetzer's hurt again by that straight right from Deploy. He's using nice snappy right hands there, and they're all on target. Pierre Coetzer's got to work his way into the fight. Oh, Johnny Deploy's down. Tremendous left hook there, and he's down. He seems to be writhing in pain there. It's almost over. Almost over. The Stan Christodoulou on the count of 6. He's just made a count.
He's wobbling.
And referee Christodoulos let it go on. That was a tremendous lift out. And down it goes to Plooy.
Plooy on his 6s and 7s, his eyes are going.
Oh, he won't make it.
He's getting up. You say he's got no heart, but he's got up. I think Christodoulos must let it go on. He's talking to him now.
Christodoulos stopped it. It's all over in the second round.
Knockout there for Pierre Coetzer.
What a comeback by Coetzer, on the verge of going down himself again, through those 2 left hooks, and in came Coetzer, landed 2 left hooks, and down went Plooy from both of them.
Let's see if we can see what Pierre Coetzer's going to say about this, Brian. Summarize this fight for us.
There we see in the slow-mo, that left hook that
there we see that
found its way in.
You know, Pierre Coetzer's always been known to have a tremendous left hook, but we didn't realize it's going to come into effect so early in the fight. And a great victory there for Pierre Coetzer.
You know, I asked him before the fight, Pierre, where's that left hook that you knocked out Bernard Benton with? We haven't seen it again. He said, you're going to see it in this fight. He meant it. We saw it.
He definitely meant it. Then there you see in the slow motion again, Johnny Plooy just didn't have an answer to that left hook. And Plooy, all credit to Plooy, was fighting a good fight up until he was knocked out.
Oh, I don't think anybody's disgraced. Certainly not Plooy. He was knocked out, but not disgraced in this fight. What a fight.
Definitely not. He came into this fight with a bit of condition, and he tried his best, but that left hook he just could not avoid.
It was a tremendous punch. And here we go over to Darren Scott for the result.
Well, there we see Stan Christodoulos counting
Ladies
again.
and gentlemen, the winner by knockout after 2 minutes and 46 seconds of the second round, South African heavyweight champion, Pierre Coetzer.
Pierre Coetzer's got to work his way into this fight.
The home, of course, of the best boxing.
Pierre Coetzer's got to work his way into this fight. Johnny Plooy's down. Tremendous left hook there, and he's down. He seems to be writhing in pain there. It's almost over.